Well, it's been a long time since we played the Barbarossa map, and it's just been sitting in my queue forever. The Stug Tutor game is against are on Barbarossa against Stug Tutor. I really hope Stug Tutor's okay because I think he kind of like went MIA, and I haven't seen him, and I haven't seen him on the forums, and I don't think he's playing his tournament rounds anymore. And he was a good opponent, but I think he probably just got really busy or something. But it's always sad when a game's not completed, and I just been not wanting to look at it and not wanting to admit that it's real and that we don't get to finish the round and there's no conclusion. So, oh well, I guess we'll just make our own conclusion. Um, and then extrapolate and think about what ifs. Um, because I think this game still had a lot left to play. But you know, it uh okay. I hope I was talking that whole time. Um, but yeah, we want to look over the Stug Tutor round and kind of just think about what ifs, put it to rest finally, get it out of my queue, right? And um, yeah, so let's do that. Let's see. Loading. That I don't. He didn't even look at it, right? Or make any moves. But this just is how we left it on the previous turn many months ago. Um, yeah, I mean we have the we have the initiative, right? I mean I understand why he doesn't really want to play this anymore, or he got busy or what have you, because we have the initiative now on as Russia. We've stopped his advance, and we've stopped his advance pretty early, even before the river. Like he never. I think in the other game, I forget, Gumbertron took Riga and pushed us all the way back up here, but we're actually pushing him and causing this fight here. And I think we just surrendered a couple of like 88s. Like, I mean, he's got a lot of counter attack potential for sure here. Oh, we don't have the I guess that's the sad thing about the when it surrenders. Like we can't look at the we don't get to look at the kill sheet, and we don't get to look at the can we surrender? But or and look at the whole map, cuz that kind of sucks. Cuz I wonder what else he had behind, but I mean from what he has showing, um he's still got a lot of counter attack potential. I mean, we're attacking him, but this northern attack is just a shit ton of conscripts. You know, sure we got a couple of tanks and we've got an 18, we've got a little bit of artillery, we've got some fighters here, but I mean this is really just an infantry push. This is just a surround. This is just operational warfare. This isn't like we've got like a tank squad coming in or anything. Like we have some tanks spread out holding the line, but like what I'm saying, we don't got that much punch. But I guess we've already punched into him pretty hard. Um, but I mean, as far as Germany goes, I mean, he's Germany's lost the initiative at this point, and it has to start thinking about falling back, and probably realistically instead of trying to counterattack into the blob of conscripts that's just going to encircle and surround you, you probably should retreat along and hold this river line. And it would be very easy to do, and it's a very good defensive line to try to hold. And over here, though, that's going to be the difficult problem for him, right? Holding this river line is going to be pretty easy, but trying to hold the gap from the bottom of the map to here will be more difficult. But that's where you could have some counterplay and some maneuver warfare and some encirclement maybe, as the Germans. But clearly he doesn't have more punch, right? He's not gonna create. I don't know. Maybe he could create an encirclement on us and reset this and now recapture the initiative. But um, at this point, I think it's just a slow push into Berlin. Or really, we're trying to get to Warsaw first, so we can just Warsaw or Königsberg. No, Königsberg's a port. So we're really trying to get to Warsaw, so we can just drop troops from there now. But um, yeah, I would think if I was playing as Germany, I would definitely want to retreat. But if I wanted to counterattack, gosh, I mean, it's just where can you even counterattack into this Russian line? Because my like good vulnerable pieces are behind shitty infantry. So like that T-34, this KV-1, like maybe even the AA, and then yeah, same thing. It's like so it's gonna be pretty hard to like effectively counterattack. There's because it's just a lot. What are you gonna counterattack into a whole bunch of infantry? Cool. And then my counterattack with my tanks is gonna hurt more. I mean, he still has a huge air force, I'm sure, right? And that's the big factor that you're not really considering is the air pressure. The air pressure could really collapse this whole front, right? And you could easily start doing some fun things and pop all of these conscripts and engineers and maybe the AT because there's no AA coverage here, right? There's just this. So you could easily drop the whole Air Force here. You could get artillery pressure. You could start running the recons all around here. Maybe pull up a tank. Um, so you could collapse this whole shenanigans with a counterattack pretty easily in the Air Force. Mm, maybe even fuck up this tank too. Depends. That's probably the best place for Germany because it's got some sea and then it's got some air force that it can really put pressure. But at the same time, it doesn't look like there's that many land ground pieces here to make use of it too. Um, hmm. So that'd probably be the best thing for Germany. And then of course you could easily surrender these conscripts that are already surrendered, and you could get some of that done with limited use. Um, and then we never did anything with our navy. Our navy got bombed a little bit, and then our subs got bombed a little bit, but we never engaged. I guess push out the push them out, and I mean they're not doing anything, and you're starting to push, so they might as well. trade, right? What's up, Nurgle? Um, but yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely in our favor now. Can't do anything, right? Yeah. So let me see if I can surrender. Okay, cool. So I can surrender, so I can see the score screen. Okay. So that's cool. So our top players are the SU6. Um, that's the AA, the 85, which is an AA. Oh, the T34s did pretty good and didn't take any damage there. Hmm, lots of stuff. Now, dropping down into things that actually took damage. Some conscripts, the I-16, the engineers, KV-1, this T-28. He dished out, he 8 for 8'd, but he killed more than what he's worth. That, good job, little T-38. Um, and then a whole bunch of landmines. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. And then things that did poorly that were just there to die. One of the KV-1s just soaking, being a damage sponge, just soaking hits. One of the recons just soaking hits. The BT-7. The BT-7, that's the artillery tank. Um, what else? Oh yeah, and then our our battleship just eating damage. Wow, there's so many units. Okay. Some of these conscripts just 18, 17. That's so cheap, right? To keep repairing them. Alright, review battlefield. There we go. See, now we can really see the whole battlefield. And then what else did we not see? I mean, the Air Force really. Oh wow, looks like he's already doing that. So it looks like he was I mean those trains look like they're falling back, not coming forward. So it looks like he was already planning on falling back. Perhaps, unless these trains are supposed to be coming up to deploy. But what is that? Infantry, infantry, infantry? So he's still got a decent amount of infantry, but again, this front line of his is all of his infantry are already falling back or coming up. This front line has just a couple of tanks, some artillery. He's utilizing the AA as frontline, troops because he doesn't have anything else. Um, the forest is very light here, which is why we were able to surround those pioneers. Um, there's really not that much in the south either. I mean, he's still got the huge air force, right? So he can really apply pressure with that air force places. But I think he was planning on retreating too, probably. Retreating across back along and may probably try to hold the river line and try to fight near maybe Warsaw or back along near Brest and hold the river line. So, and he's got what, AT, got some AA back here. Lots of planes. So yeah, I still say yeah, retreating is probably the best option, and you'll be able to save most of these pieces out of here. I mean, like, maybe this infantry dies and this pioneer dies. Um, but the recon should be able to get out. This might be able to get out. It depends. You're gonna try to create some type of bubble around Kaunas with what tanks you do have and the AT and the Stugs, and then you're gonna try to get everything across this bridge, or maybe down on this bridge too. But that would be the German plan to try to pull out because it's clear they don't have any more pieces. You know, they don't have their infantry. They do have infantry, but it's over here and it's either retreating or being coming up as reinforcements. And it's just still got a lot of big artillery, but they don't have a lot of smaller supporting artillery. And they still got a huge air force, and then I like the way the Navy is positioned. He's got his destroyers and patrol boats screening the north, and then he's got the battleships in the port coast harbor blasting me. That's cool. Um, yeah, but that's the whole round, I guess. Ended on turn 9. Um, and if I'm to think, God, there's so much more play left in this because he's gonna be able to pull out all this stuff back. If he tries to create this front line along the river line to Brest, like that's a good. He's got the ability to do that. He's gonna have the time and to buy some more troops, maybe heal some of them and do some counter play action back here. But eventually I should still win. It's just a long drawn out thing because I think the Russians get triple the prestige or double, triple, and that's a lot. So eventually you're just gonna win based upon that, probably, unless as I push in, I mess up really bad and you're able to, collapse me like I collapse you, and then, it's that back and forth because the supply points to buy new units on this map are so far, right? It's Warsaw for the Germans, and then, Moscow or what is this place down here? Kursk and up here. So it's like one edge of the map to the other pretty much. Um, I would say though, if everything went well, I could probably get to Warsaw and take Warsaw in another 10 turns. That seems reasonable. Maybe. That's what I would say if I thought about it. Because I'm thinking another, he repositions along this, he reestablishes a new front line that takes 2 turns, and then it takes me like 3 turns to position myself to want to crack that, and then I crack that, and it takes another 3 turns to then probably him fall back and reestablish another front line right along Warsaw, and maybe even all the way back along this river line, more than likely. And then you got to collapse that. So you're sitting at like 9 turns probably then, or 9 or 10 turns, and then you can get Warsaw, and then probably another 5 turns after that maybe to get Berlin. So 15 turns to get Berlin, maybe. Maybe that's too many or too few turns. But as I said, there's a lot of game left to play, right? And the way in which you defend this next line as Germany, and the way in which I attack, and if I and how I make mistakes or if I don't, or what have you, that there's still some play left, but it's definitely Germany has lost the initiative, right? It cannot push into Russia anymore. It has to wait. It's got to wait for like a good counterattack opportunity. Um, yeah. So let's take a look at the other side now, I guess. Um, doo -doo -doo. All right. Now, as Germany, yeah, things are going quite well, right? We've already crossed. It's turn 7, and we've already crossed this river in force. No, no, it doesn't look like there's any, from what we can see, it doesn't look like there's much chance of counterattack here. Like, we busted up this tank. This pioneer is encircled. He does have that. But yeah, it looks like he's very low on pieces, right? And the pieces he does have are damaged and not in a great position to counterattack. I mean, and I think he did have. Oh yeah, he did have an air force, right? And a part of this I remember now too. We captured this airfield, and he invested pretty heavily in the air force, I think, and he had like quite a few fighters. And it was raining, and because we captured this, the planes couldn't retreat or go to another airfield, so they all just fell out of the sky. So his air force is crippled. I know he still has some fighters, but I remember that was a big play. Um, so he lost his air force, so he can't really challenge us much in the air as much. um, I can't remember how did the battleship thing happen? I don't remember exactly what he has, but it looks like we're doing a little bit of sea battling here. But that looks like it's going fine, and it looks like our German Air Force is helping. So it looks like the sea battle is good. And, it looks like our push in the north is good. Our Air Force is supporting well. In the south here, we've already got Minsk. We've pushed past here. He's trying to hold us here, and we're encircling. And then we're just really trying to. Oh, he's got a T-34 in transport that he's trying to get up, or retreat, one of the two. Yeah. He doesn't really have much to back it up. So this is looking, like the north looks good, but there's still work left to be done in pieces, but the south looks like a full collapse. The few pieces he does have in the south are encircled, and it doesn't look like there's any reinforcements, and like it just looks like a complete south collapse. Huh. Yeah, I mean like the South is in complete collapse, and we're just gonna push on through right up to Moscow and Kursk easily, I think. Getting to Leningrad might be hard. I mean, yeah. I mean, like this game looks pretty well done, and I'd say it'd be over in about 5 turns max, maybe more, maybe 6 turns. I can't remember what it was like with Gumbotron, but I can't remember what turn we won that, but it'd probably be similar. Um, anyway, Leningrad's not gonna fall that quick though. He can definitely fall back and hold us near Leningrad, but Moscow and Kursk will fall pretty quick, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he'll drop all of his money into it, and he just puts a whole bunch of conscripts, but I'm gonna push all the way up to here real quick. Maybe not 5 turns, maybe like 7 turns, because it's gonna take like 3 turns just to get the pieces up here, and there's no resistance. So it'll take like 3 turns to get everything up, and then to do an actual assault for the last couple of hexes probably will take 3 turns. So like at 7 turns maybe to finish off this round. That's my prediction. But yeah, let's surrender and look at the score list. The HEs, that's the big artillery piece. And then that's the other big artillery piece. Of course, they're the top players just blasting things. 52 things killed, 35. Wow. Strategic bombers, the HE-111s did great. Light cruiser, Pioneer, Stukas, all in the top score with no damage. What actually took a hit? This Pioneer took a hit, but still dished out a lot. One of the fighters. One of the paratroopers. Just lots of really just good back and forth, killing way more than what they took. Some fighters, the battleship, tank. Let's look at some of the guys that really ate it. The destroyer, one of the bikers, one of the fighters, another one of the bikes. I mean, so even the ones that really took 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 it, they still they still dished out good damage. Looking at the battlefield, let's see. KV2, some conscripts. Not much of an air force. 3 fighters, 4 fighters. He's got the battleship over here, a light cruiser. So I mean, we still have. I don't. Does he have any more subs? I don't think he does. Guess we killed all the subs. So I mean, the sea battle looks like we're gonna win it, right? We've got 2 light cruisers. He's got one. We've still got battleship and I don't know. We've got the planes too to help. So we're definitely gonna probably win the sea battle. And then this north, he should probably just retreat and try to hold at least on this line for a second along this river line, and then just plop down some conscripts in the forest. That's what I would do. And then the south though is 100% nothing. Couple of conscripts. Yeah. So the south is just, yeah, south is over. And there's nothing you can do. This is just gonna get collapsed next turn, and then everything's gonna push all the way up to Moscow, on the gates of Moscow, and you're just gonna drop a whole bunch of conscripts in the forest and hold on to your butt. So yeah, not a lot of play left in this one. Not a lot of counterplay, just really, you know, just trying to finish them off. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's it for that, and I do like this map, and I think it is a great map, and it doesn't feel too big. Like playing Operation Avalanche just moments, like a bit ago, like too big. Like and okay. Operation yeah, okay. So Operation Avalanche is just way too big, but this and it depicts just, the invasion of Italy. And then this is the whole invasion of Russia, and it's a lot of hexes, but it doesn't feel too big, right? It feels like it's a good size. And like I like the map. Could you make the map a little bit bigger? Maybe. But I like the map, and it feels historical, and things look like in the right spot, and it plays good. Um so I do like this map, but I think it could just maybe some tweaks and some adjustments, like maybe with the money and maybe I don't know, minor things. But it's definitely a great scenario and a good fun challenge for both sides. Um, and a good accurate depiction, I'd say. Of the forces and the Air Force and the challenges, and it's good. I do enjoy it. But I think, oh, I guess we could look at some cool guy. Did anybody do anything really cool? No. Oh yeah, you just killed 26 infantry. Cool. And then where's the railgun? You killed 36 infantry and 8 tanks and 8 structures. Cool. You guys did great. But yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna just end it here and go from there. Have to play this map again though for sure. It's definitely fun. Alright. Alright, well, see y'all later. Hopefully, maybe whenever RTH plays the turn today. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. And, but yeah, other than that, see y'all around.